Okay, I got the two crankshafts done. I made the bushings for in here, in the carrier bushings for it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and make the liners for the cylinder liners. I'm going to go ahead and make those next. And then after that, maybe make the rod or the piston. Well, I'll decide that when I get there, but I'm going to go ahead and round up material for cylinder sleeve. I'm not going to make it out of cast iron. They're going to be, I could have just made them out of aluminum, because that's what my Mini Hog and some of the other motors that I've made, aluminum cylinders work just fine as long as it ain't dead soft stuff. And all the stuff that I have is 7075 T651, which is pretty much as hard as cold roll steel. So anyway, I'm going to line up either some aluminum or some cold roll steel to put in the liners. I don't think I have any stainless that size. I'll round something up, and basically I'll turn up the cylinders, or the liners. Once I get the liners turned up, I will show you the process of putting them in, because what I'm going to do is heat the engine block up, cool the liner down, probably put it in the snow, and cool the liner down, and then shove it into place. So that's what's on the agenda. So I'll be back. Catch you later. Okay, I got one liner in, and I didn't notice it, but I was about 75 thou short. But I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's on the back side there that just wasn't quite long enough. Oops. I'm not going to get it out of there, because I heated that up with the torch and froze the liner and put it in place. So I suppose I could bore it back out if if I really wanted to. I could bore it down to a thin wall and get it out that way, but I think it'll be fine. So it's just that if the piston comes back that far, it'll just come out of the liner a little ways. I have another motor. I think my odds and ends is like that it actually comes out a ways. So I may have to go in there though and lap. Well, the back side is not too bad. It's got one ring around the top, but I don't think the rings will go up that far. Up on the top there, I don't know if you can see it. There's one ring there, but I don't think the rings will go up that far. The rest of it actually feels pretty good in there. So I didn't have a reamer, so I bored it, and the last pass didn't pan out down on the bottom. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at. I'll go do the other one. Okay, I went and got material for my for the flywheels, and I bought some 3/4 inch, 4-inch wide hot roll steel, and they plasma cut the piece that I needed. So that means if you look at the end of it, let's see if I can zoom you in here. If you can look at the end of it, you can see that it's been plasma cut. Plasma or torch, but I'm thinking it's plasma because torch wouldn't have been. So it may have a hard skim on that. And when you cut that off, you don't want a climb cut. You want a conventional cut, so that you're getting underneath the hard stuff, the little hard scale, and peeling it off. You always want to do that. And you always want to peel that off and clean it up before you use it. So I'm going to go in here and clamp it into vise. I got a 3/4 inch carbide cutter in there, or 3 flute. And I'm going to get over here in the front and I'm going to come underneath and try to use this end mill to peel that off. Yep. So I'm going to try to come in from here and then basically it'll be peeling that right off. It should. And plus you don't want to just take a skim cut. You want to take a pretty decent cut so that you make sure that you get underneath it. And let's go down a little bit more. I'm going to go down toward the top of the flutes there. Here we go. Alright, here we go. I'm going to lower you down. You can't see what's going on from up there. You know what? I think I'm going to take the light off for now too, so that you can, so that light kind of washes everything out. Just gonna, you know, I'll put it up here somewhere. Oop. Okay, lay down there then. And then I'm going to turn the other light on. See if that helps. It might be a little bit better, I don't know. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take and peel this end off, and then I'm going to go over the bandsaw and cut 4-inch pieces out of this. So they'll be 4x4 pieces. This is really not good for carbide either, because carbide likes to either be coolant or no coolant. It doesn't like getting hot and then being cooled. Seems to be cutting it okay. And there you go. Cut the hard stuff off, and now we got good steel there. Got rid of that the scale or the slag. Yeah, this is low carbon steel, but when you torch cut or plasma cut, it picks up carbon. I guess I can't explain where it's picking up the carbon, but it does pick up carbon, and it'll leave a hard scale on there. Maybe somebody else can tell me how it's picking up carbon, but all right. So I'm going to go ahead and set the bandsaw up, and I'm going to cut 4-inch pieces. You know, so it'll be 4 down the line. So And I'll be back when I get all the pieces cut, because when I get all the pieces cut, then I'm going to go measure to the center and put a 1/4 inch hole through the center, and that'll be my index hole for the fly. This is for the flywheels, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So I'll be back. Okay, I got the first piece in here. Saw's still running. I got 3 more of them to cut. I have just a little cheap Harbor Freight saw, so it's not fast, but it works good, but it's not fast. You gotta be patient. You have to be really patient with it. But for the price, it's been a good little saw. Once I got a decent blade on it. The blade that they ship it with, you might as well throw it away. It's the same as what I got. Kind of sad that they ship a cheap ass blade with it, because that makes their saw look like shit. You know, they'd ship a decent blade with it and make their saw look a lot better. And I'm putting in my edge finder, and what I'm going to do is pick up the back edge of the vise saw. Crank over there. Lights in the way. And we'll crank out till she touches. Right there. So I'll zero my Y. And 100. Okay. Now I want to be in the center, and this is 4 inches wide. It's supposed to be anyway. Let me measure it. I'm guessing it's a little under, because it's usually what material houses do. They'll cheat you by a little bit. That way they save a little money. Yeah, see, it's 980, but I'm gonna call it 4 inches. This close enough. It's this hole that I'm putting in is only so that I can get from one side to the other and be concentric with the opposite side. So I'll dial in that hole for my 0, mill everything on this side except for the OD, flip it over, and then I'll end up putting it on a fixture. I'll be making a little fixture to hold it. And I'll clamp it through the spoke holes, 3 places. And, well, actually there'll be 2 operations. First I'll clamp it by the corners, do the inside, the undercut by the hub, for the hub. Put 3 clamps in on the spokes, take the outside clamps off, mill the OD, and then I'll go to the lathe and screw it up and open that 3/8 hole up, bore it up to, or the 1/4 inch hole up, bore that up to a 3/8. That's the plan anyway. So, crank this out 2 inches. Stopped at 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to lock that down, put a 0 on it, on the readout, and then we're going to come down and pick it up edgewise, and we're going to do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to pick it up over here, because that'll be consistent with the stop. This way will not be consistent, because I'm just putting it up there, quick throwing a scale on it and cutting it. This side should be more consistent than that. If they vary in length a little, it'll always be 2 inches from this side. I don't know if you follow that. This side is controlled with a stop. This side is controlled with whatever I measure over there. So if I measure it short, the 2 inches could be short. The 2 inch dimension will be varying on me. This will be a little more consistent. I hope I'm describing that right. All right, 0x. Whoop. 100. Or 1" 900, whichever. But I'm just going to go 100. 0 it, and then go to 2 inches. And I'm going to lock the table at 2 inches. So I got my X and Y lock. I'm going to zero that out. And I'm going to go check on my saw. I'll be back when I'm putting a tool holder in, a drill chuck in. Okay, taking my edge finder out. I got this just piece of heat shrink that I put over it. Otherwise, if it lays in my toolbox and makes contacts with any of my other tools, it'll sit there lit up and it'll run the battery down in it. So I just put that over it, just check, protects the end. Okay, drill chuck. And this here, like I've said before, I don't like moving my knee up and down, but for this it doesn't really matter because it doesn't have to be that accurate somewhere near center, just so I have a straight up and down hole from side to side. That's more critical than anything. I mean, to have a straight hole. Because that'll determine how straight that'll determine your concentricity of the other side. Although, really, the concentricity of the other side to this side, that's not that accurate or that critical either. Just has to be somewhere close. Because when you put it in the lathe and screw it all up, so it'll run true on the engine. You don't want the wheels shaking and wiggling and wobbling all over the place. So I'm going to double drill that. I'm going to drill it with a 3/16 first. I'm going to drill it with a 3/16 first and then a quarter, then I'll open it up to a 1/4 inch. And I want to get my squirt bottle from the saw. Just about through another part over there. And I think what I'm going to do is mark the sides. I'm going to mark the sides, or mark the corner for reference. Of what the index sides were. Come on now. Okay. I'll go with a 1/4 inch. There we go. First one drilled. Second one should be just about ready. I'm going to go ahead and mark this corner. I had a paint marker, but I think that my paint marker is out of paint. This here used to work really good. I still got a little bit of paint left in it, and this is paint, not Dykem, so it stays on better. It stays on your material a lot better that way because it's painted. All right, I'll deburr that up, and that one's ready to go over to the NC. And what I'll do is I'll dial that hole in, and that'll be the index. And that's why I wanted to paint this corner, because each one of them that I load now after that can be really close. If I check it, I shouldn't have to move very far. All right, let's go check the saw and see if we have another one ready. Why, yes we do. I'm going to stop the camera here because I'm going to go set up the saw. I'm going to cut the next pull the next one out and get the saw going.